How long should you cycle CJC-1295 Ipamorelin? Most people are using CJC-1295 wrong. And what if I told you that the number one mistake people make with CJC-1295 and Ipamorelin, one of the most powerful peptide combinations for growth hormone optimization, it's not that you're doing the dosing wrong, it isn't the timing, it isn't even the injection technique, but the problem most of you have is knowing when to stop. I'm Regan Archibald, founder of Ageless Future. We practice world-class longevity medicine. And in today's video, we're going to do a deep dive on peptide cycling. Specifically, how long should you actually run CJC-1295 and Ipamorelin? And what happens when you don't cycle off, and what should you do during your break to protect your gains? Now, this is a question that we get all the time in the office, and I get this question on protocols almost more than any other question. People are getting the answer from Reddit forums, they're getting people who have never seen their blood labs, and so let's fix that, because here's the problem. The internet will tell you to run CJC-1295 and Ipamorelin almost indefinitely. Some people run it 6 months straight, sometimes a year, and then they wonder why around month 4 or 5 they stop feeling it. The sleep benefits fade, the body composition changes, plateau, the energy that was there in week 3 is no longer there. The deep sleep, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've used CJC, it's gone. Suddenly it's just like you're injecting nothing. That flushing that you get, that even starts to go away. And so it's not a mystery, it's receptor biology. It's the same reason why if you stop drinking coffee and you take a few days off, you're going to feel the effects after that 3rd or 4th day when you start sipping that morning cup of coffee when you wake up. Because our body is a feedback loop. Anything in biology, anything in nature, there's a system in place. And the system's pretty simple. It's apply inputs, and then you're going to change the output. Now, if you continually pulse the same pathway with CJC-1295 Ipamorelin, your brain is not going to be responsive. It's the same thing as if you just try to fuel your fatigue with more caffeine, all your brain does is it pushes on the brakes even harder, and your brain produces adenosine. And these adenosine receptors are why you have the crash after caffeine even. And you're wondering, like, why am I tired all the time? Well, it's because you're pushing on the fuel all the time and your body's trying to downregulate that response so that you go into equilibrium. This is where drugs can be very dangerous because people just want more and more of that feeling and they don't realize, like, you've got to cycle off these things. And yes, even I'm big into plant medicine, but even plant medicine, you don't want to be doing this all the time. Maybe once or twice a year. Don't be crazy with this stuff. And in the world of peptide therapy, I'm seeing some of the most ridiculous protocols out there where people are completely overstimulating their pituitary. And this has led to this receptor desensitization. And I can tell when you're not cycling, and we can see it in your blood labs, and you're turning down the volume. And when you turn down the volume, you're losing that ability to stimulate your pituitary to start reversing aging and start to get that growth hormone pulse. And that's one thing I love about peptides. And we learned a long time ago, CJC-1295, I love being on it so much that I was like, I'm just going to keep this in my cycle. And I was doing 5 days on, 2 days off. And I noticed after about 90 days, I said, I can tell I'm not getting the deep sleep. So I'm like many of you, I track everything. And sure enough, I ran my labs and even my IGF-1 levels, they had actually dropped because I got off CJC for 2 days before I ran my labs, and my IGF-1 levels were lower than where I started. And I realized I had a big problem there. And so I started doing this deep dive and I started applying fasting on those 2 days a week. I did a protein fast and I just let my body kick in. I'd started doing zone 2 training, tried not to push it too hard on my runs or my mountain biking. And I just found that now my growth hormone started to increase. And then when I cycled CJC, I felt bulletproof. And this is the contrast. When you have a scientific approach, I was working with one of our doctors at the time, and I found that it made such a difference in my life. And I've seen that in hundreds of patients. So if you talk about what the clinical data actually shows, there's a study that was outlined in Revolution Health and Wellness. This was a blog where they looked at the endocrinology literature published in late 2025, not too long ago. And they found the evidence-based protocol for CJC and Ipamorelin And yes, you want to stack these together because you're going to get this nice little increase of growth hormone when you use them together. The other benefit of having Ipamorelin there, and I've done lots of videos on this, so I won't take too much time, but you're going to see that you don't get the same hunger response. And yes, if you do use CJC, if our providers put it in your protocol, we only use compounding pharmacies. Do not use CJC-1295 from a research use only compounding pharmacy. This is one of the most prevalent side effect laden peptides that we find when people are just doing it on their own. But what the research shows is you want to do 60 days followed by 30 days off. And yes, you can bring in another growth hormone releasing peptide, maybe sarcotropin, maybe tesamorelin, maybe something like sermorelin. IGF-1 is that one peptide too that has a very long, like 22-hour half-life. So IGF-1, you may want to do it like every other day. But once again, meet with our medical team, go to agelessfuture.com, get the right blood labs ran, and then they can let you know what's appropriate for you. But during this time off, this is a great time for your body to learn how to pulse its own growth hormone, because what we found is that when you are allowing that kind of 30-day time period where you just refresh these receptors, so you're going to see that your growth hormone starts to increase naturally. Now, this physiologic growth hormone pulse at the pituitary is really important because if you have a long-term pulse, like with IGF-1, LR3, that long-term pulse is not mimicking your natural biology, so you've got to be careful with that one. Same with CJC. CJC and Ipamorelin, they're going to be metabolized pretty darn quickly, so this is why you want to use it in the fasted state. You don't want to just throw it in after a big meal, otherwise the insulin is going to just kick out the growth hormone. It's going to completely block the receptors. The other thing that Ipamorelin does, it's a somatostatin inhibitor. So remember, everything in your body has a gas pedal and a brake pedal. And so what the brake pedal does is somatostatin. When you have growth hormone that kicks in, now the brakes kick in, somatostatin wants that down as quickly as possible. Unless you're sleeping and there's a certain period of time, that's why we want you going to bed like by 9:30, be asleep, because you're going to get a growth hormone pulse before that midnight hour, and you're going to get this massive recovery that leads to a better cortisol secretion the next morning. And yes, you want your cortisol levels to peak about 30 minutes to an hour after you wake up the next morning, and growth hormone just helps regulate that whole complex. And so when you give these receptors a chance to just recover, now the somatostatin is going to let growth hormone pulse a little stronger, and especially if you're in a fasted state, now somatostatin can chill out because Ipamorelin's there saying, hey, we got this, we're not going to let them get too hungry and just eat everything, and we're not going to let mTOR be active for too long, because if mTOR is active for too long, then may be growing some other things that you don't want to grow, especially like organs. And that's what you see when people are on long-term growth hormone. You'll see their massive chest cavity. It's because their organs get enlarged. And when the organs get too big, now you're putting yourself at risk of having a cardiovascular event. So remember, more is not better. And I know that's an un-American thing to say. So when you're doing these peptides, you want to make sure that you're really taking these cycles very seriously. You'll notice in your protocols, I love the growth hormone peptides, but we're going to be cycling them about every 30 days. And you'll be on them for maybe 60 to 90 days on different growth hormone cycles, because there's over 100 growth hormone peptides that your pituitary gland makes. And so we're just going to pick the best pathways for you. And then you cycle off for 30 days and then you go back on. And so you don't have to worry about drifting outside of where you want to be, because the receptors reset. And you get these anabolic and regenerative benefits. And especially if you've done stem cells with us, like the mu cells, you're going to see this massive regeneration. And especially if you have growth hormone there right during that regenerative cycle. So maybe go off 30 days before and then jump on them if you've been on them for quite a while. And so for those of you who love this kind of detail, this kind of nuance, I've got another video that I think you're going to like. And that video is all on how to cycle peptides. We'll provide a link below for those of you who want to go deeper in your health with us. All you need to do is get your blood labs ran, and we're going to be checking your optimal ranges and everything so that you can feel, look, and perform your best at any age. I'm Regan Archibald. Appreciate you being on the channel. See you on the next video.